Coming up, what is still weird at Magic Kingdom? Welcome to the SeeWDW Near and Far podcast, where we explore perspectives of the Walt Disney World Resort from 10 to 1,000 miles away. I am Mike the Far in this equation.
And I'm John, about 10 miles away.
All right, today we are going to discuss something kind of cool, I think. What is still weird in the Magic Kingdom? Can't wait for that discussion. But first, John, how'd your week in the parks go?
Well, I actually went to the parks a few times this week. I'm not even 100% sure how many at this point, but I know on Saturday we had guests here from Pennsylvania, so we don't get the free Disney tickets anymore since my wife doesn't work there, but we decided we'd go and play miniature golf at Disney. So on Saturday we went to what is that called? The Fantasia golf course.
Fantasia Gardens.
Yeah, Fantasia Gardens. We got there and it was even more than what the sign says, an hour and 10 minutes wait to play miniature golf.
Wow.
So yeah, I didn't do that. Normally, I guess it's because it's Saturday, but I don't know. I've done this stuff before, and I've never waited more than a couple minutes for anything like that. So we said, we'll go over to Winter Summerland. So we did that, and it was also an hour wait. So kind of turned around from there and said, yeah, never mind. In their defense, though, I think the Summerland part was being refurbed, which it really needs. So I'm glad they're fixing it. But again, so no miniature golf. So I decided I would go to my favorite place, Disney Springs. I should say my wife decided. I didn't argue, though. And then, we went. Here is a, big line for Chicken Guy. Wraps around to the other side of the building. So basically, it's an hour and 10 minutes to play golf. It's probably like an hour wait if you want chicken for lunch. It's hour, and I'm like, yeah, this is why we don't even come to Disney. For like when people come to town, you don't take them to Disney because you'd be like, how much money do you have? You're gonna need to plan a month in advance and bring a lot of cash if you actually want to do anything. So, but we went to Disney Springs, and there's lots of new 100th celebration stuff that I'll never buy. I got pictures of it, but I don't know. It's like the 50th. I just don't have that much, and it's all shiny again too. I don't know why. That just doesn't do it for me. I'm not. I like my clothes.
I do like that Mickey Mouse hat that they have there. That's
well, that's not 100th though. That's like a retro hat.
I don't care. That's my kind of hat right there.
Yeah, and it's even got the mesh back. So
yeah, I love that.
Yeah, me too. I made sure to get a picture of that and I even made sure it's $29.99. I figured.
There you go. Yeah. Like
that. But that one, yeah. See, I guess that's the problem with this. This is the thing that says, "Wow, I like that."
Yeah, I know, right?
All the shiny crap is there, and we're
like, I like the simple thing, the
1980. That's the one. Yeah.
I love the minimalist 50s looking stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, we looked around a little bit. They have ice cream cones made out of cookies now.
What?
and I don't.
Jeez.
But there's not enough sugar in your cookies in your cone. They're making the cone out of like chocolate chip cookies. I'm like, oh man, it's
Wow.
getting.
Mm.
Yeah, here's a menu of it. I mean, they do look good.
And
Waffle
where's
sun.
this at?
Oh
Where's
no,
this place?
these are waffles. Never mind. I thought it was cookies. Mm. Anyway, it's at Disney Springs, but
Okay.
just it's near the co-op, like across from it. So
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
yeah, I saw an Iron Man. I sent that to Universal so they could file a claim saying you can't have that in your gift shop. Cease and desist. Take that down. Uh,
Uh,
so yeah, I always like the co-op. They have some cool stuff,
mhm.
and I love the Orange Bird stuff
Yeah,
too.
that's pretty cool.
But I won't spend too much time on this stuff. You can buy a check that Walt Disney signed for $22,000. So
Good gravy.
they're
Jeez.
selling all his stuff now. So
Oh,
they're,
oh
his
gosh.
his his stuff's getting liquidated.
Ugh.
But yeah, and I've been looking for a Rice Krispie treat that was actually not in one of those pre-packaged things too. So I went to Goofy's Candy because they used to do whole cakes out of that,
Mm-hmm.
and they still offer um, a custom one. But basically, you tell them what you want, and they dip it in chocolate and put it in stuff. And it didn't even taste fresh. It was kind of stale in the end. I was kind of disappointed with that too. Because again, I used to love like to buy the big Mickey things, and they were just so good. But
Hmm.
can't really get that anymore. And my favorite animatronic at Disney Springs is broken. The
Is that the gator?
alligator's not in his mouth anymore like he was. He's still making the noise. That's the alligator that I always say the Rainforest Cafe, because of the theming, feels the most Disney thing at Disney Springs, which is sad.
I agree with you.
Anyway, we didn't stay too long. And then this leads me to Sunday, which is the last day of Splash Mountain being open. And this will show my inexperience with Genie. I'm going to start using it more because what choice do I have? But my plan was I was going to buy Genie Plus in the morning and book Splash Mountain, and anything else, who cares? Because I don't want to wait forever to ride Splash Mountain. So I got up at 6:30 and I checked. I actually Googled what's the earliest I can book Lightning Lane. And it said resort guests can book Lightning Lane at 7 a.m. Everyone else can book when the park opens. And I was like, oh, all right, I can't book it till 9 anyway. I guess I'll see what happens. I mean, I wasn't real that into it. And keep in mind, this was 6:30. I read this and I went, well, all right, I'll look. So at 9 o'clock, or actually probably around 8:30, it dawned on me that we've done this before, and my wife picked at 7 a.m. What are they talking about? And then I said that's the pay per ride Lightning Lane is
Mm.
7 a.m. for park guests, 9 a.m. for everybody else. And I'm like, well, I don't have time to make this mistake. Splash Mountain closes today. And so at around 9:25, Splash Mountain opened up. Like it said that there was a fast pass available. So I went to buy it and then I looked and it was gone by the time I went through the purchasing price. So I said, all right, now I purchased Fast Pass or Lightning Lane and I can't get Splash. And if I go, I'm going to have to wait for 3 hours in line for Splash, and I probably won't use the Lightning Lane at all. So I'm like, now I just gave Disney $20, and I still have to wait 3 hours while I'm sitting there, probably angry. I just bought Lightning Lane so I could sit here for 3 hours. Anyway, my brain was working a little bit, and I don't remember exactly what time I did it. Here you can see Splash Mountain at 10:56, 200-minute wait. Um, and that's what's that? 3 hours and 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
That's not important anyway. But so anyway, I kept looking, and you know how rides at Disney notoriously break down all the time. I said I
Mm-hmm.
need to find a ride that's going to break down, and then when they break down, it opens up to you can use it for any of these experiences. So around 11 o'clock, I noticed Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor was closed. And that's a weird ride to close. So if it closes, it's probably going to be a while. It's probably a cast thing, or someone didn't show up to work, or something needs to be reset. It's not like a 5 minute closure normally. And there was a lightning lane available for 11:10. And so I got the lightning lane for Monsters Inc. And I crossed my fingers it would stay closed. And around 11:14, or no, what is this? 11:21. Around at 11:21, I guess it told me that my plans have been changed, and now I have a fast pass I can use anytime for the rest of the day. And it included Splash Mountain, what I could
Mm-hmm.
use it for. And I did a screenshot of these things as soon as it happened. I'm like, I'm not going to get there and have them go, oh no, you can't do it. I'm going to say it told me this. I just drove from Mineola because it told me this. So anyway, by 11:21, I had an all whatever I want pass to ride Splash. So all those suckers, while they were sitting in the line, I was at home in Mineola and I booked a terrible ride that was broke down and just waited for it to click on and go now anything. And I went done because I couldn't even have got there by 11. I was at home. So, and then when I booked for 10 minutes later, again, that is a loophole that's kind of dumb on Disney, that exists. But that's how I got Splash Mountain on the last day of Splash Mountain, while everybody else was waiting in 2.5 to 3 hour lines.
That's very clever, John.
Again, remember that's always a possibility. So let's
That is
see.
a very clever thing. I never would have thought of that.
Yep. And so I got there around 1:30, and I went right back to Splash Mountain. And when my thing turned green through the lightning lane, I was quite happy. So, my last ride on Splash Mountain was good for me because I was thinking I just got one over on Disney. They think they're
Mm-hmm.
so smart. And it's been a while because I don't really play the game anymore of trying to get lightning lanes and manipulate times and this and that. And I used to be great at fast pass. I would line them up so well and change them and adjust them. I knew just what to do. But it's been a while since I gamed the system. And here you can see all these people were probably in line when I booked my Ah.
Oh, wow.
And of course, they had I don't know why they do this, but the last day, the Brer Frog lighting effect was just turned off. So I don't know. I guess they're saving electricity. So good for them. But anyway, I got to ride Splash Mountain one more time. I got the front row once again. I recorded the entire thing this time, and in what is it, professional quality on my phone. I think it's like 67 gigabytes. It's so big I can't even back it up.
Hmm.
Like the file is huge. But what that does, it allows me to edit much better because it's professional quality footage, meaning you can zoom in on it and do all kinds of stuff. So I still got to find a way to get it off my phone to back it up somewhere. But yeah, like Amazon won't even take it. It's too big. It's just too big of a file to do anything with. So, but I got a lot of that. And again, I got to ride it one more time when it was nice and bright out, that's how I rode it the most. So I'm glad my last time wasn't at night. I kind of like it in the daytime better.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
See,
anyway,
I was glad I got to ride it at night, so I was kind of the opposite because I did ride it so much during the day. So it was kind of nice for me in that, and for you, it makes sense because you were videoing and everything. You know, you did the
yeah,
video
I
thing.
wrote it both, but I,
Yeah, I
I
like it because you can see the castles all lit up when you're right there in that area, you know, and you were riding out through
I
there.
just like to have the blue sky when I'm on it. Like
Yeah,
I
it
always
is
like the
beautiful.
open blue skies and sunshine when I'm riding Splash Mountain. So that's
Yeah.
why I liked it. So, but anyway, I'm glad I got to ride it both. But I was this close to just not going because when I learned that the fast passes were or the lightning lanes were sold out in like 1 minute, they said like just every single person going to the park that day wanted the Splash Mountain lightning lane. So even if I did it at 7 like I should have, it still probably would have been by the time if it didn't let me purchase it until 7, by the time I hit purchase, the people who already bought it for the week and stay, it probably wouldn't have gotten it anyway. So again, it was sheer luck that I
What
was
an
able to.
awesome hack, though. That was just that's a great
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, and yeah, keep that in mind. If something's broke down, and I did this before too, I would. When I've only done Lightning Lane a couple times, but when I did it, I would book even rides that I didn't necessarily want to ride
Hmm.
in hopes that they would break. And they did. And I've already ridden Splash Mountain multiple times in a night because more rides broke. It's like I had Splash and something, I got to go it again. And it's like, and again, that happens a lot. Haunted Mansion goes down a lot. Pirates goes down constantly. And it's easy to get a close fast pass for that. So get a
So
fast pass for Pirates. There's a good chance you're going to get a do whatever you want pass out of that. It's great.
I wonder though if that applies to another park. Like, can you, for
That
example, can you ride something at another park? Then let's say you have that pass, like you said. Is it open to other parks? You know what
the
I
only
mean?
options they gave me were within the Magic
Just for
Kingdom,
Magic. Okay, okay, that
and
makes
there was
sense then.
specific rides.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
so I don't think so. But again,
Okay.
I never tried it. But so
Interesting.
anyway, it was uneventful though. I enjoyed. It seems like most people were very respectful on the last day, meaning not yelling or anything else. Although I know you're a fan. I did watch that Adam the Woo's video on the last day
Hmm.
of Splash Mountain. I'm glad I didn't ride with him for my last ride because he just yelled, screamed, last splash. And it's like
Yeah.
I'm like, man, since I'm not a screamer for me, that's just I don't I wouldn't appreciate somebody yelling the whole time. I just wouldn't. But
Yeah.
I so I'm glad I rode it in the middle of the day and how I rode it. Like it was perfect for me. But yeah, then I went over and rode. I had Genie Plus, even though I didn't necessarily want it. I had it, so I rode Pirates and what else did I do? I rode Big Thunder Mountain.
Hmm.
Um, I rode. I went on
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was shocked when I got to this part. I wrote a letter to Disney immediately, informing them that they have more rides to get rid of. I was very upset. I couldn't. I couldn't sleep that night after going on
Well,
that.
thank goodness you didn't ride It's a Small World that day then.
No, I didn't. So I assumed that was good. And a lot of people around the parks. There's a lot of rare characters around. People brought their stuffed animals. Like this guy has probably been riding it since he was a kid.
Yeah.
I need to remember this thing's been there 30 years. I've only ever ridden it as an adult, but there's plenty of adults out there who loved it as a child. So that was kind of
Yeah.
sad. They're all carrying around their stuffed animals. But so yeah, I did that. I went on the TTA, I went on the Buzz Lightyear, and then I got out of there. Oh, even before, I don't know when they did this, but as I was walking out, I noticed Splash Mountain was already gone. They changed it to the Speedway. Remember that there used to be the poster up there for Splash
Mm-hmm.
Mountain.
Yeah.
One of the posters.
I
That's
read
gone.
that Zippity Doodah was eliminated from
That
from
was a
the
long time ago.
entrance.
They got rid of that. They used to play at the main entry of the park. That's been like a couple of years since they got
Mm-hmm.
rid of that. So yeah, thank goodness. The hate that would build up in me when I heard that song, I would immediately think that of everybody except for me.
I know.
I
Right?
wanted to
Yeah.
say this is my new Insta 360. I put it on my hat on Big Thunder just to test it since I had the fast pass. And you know how you're not allowed to record it anymore, which I saw you
Yeah.
recorded it.
Yeah.
I saw Paging Mr. Morrow recording it, and I'm like, I don't know about that rule. But anyway, this is my hat footage.
I
So that's
love
pretty
that,
good.
man. That looks great, dude.
Pretty good for a hat, don't you
I
think?
know, right? And right there, I saw you put that up, that picture back there, of that when the train was going by there.
Yeah.
And I just thought that looked fantastic,
I can
man.
literally
Look at that.
pull pictures from this too. Like I open it up in the app and I could save screenshots. So I got some good ones, got some cool
Yeah.
pictures. I like that too. Look, it looks like they're touching the
Yeah.
possum.
That's
There's
cool.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets me some unique photography, even though it's not real photography, but you know what I mean. I
Yeah, I
thought that
do.
was cool. So then on Monday I didn't go, but I didn't go, but my wife took our friend from Pennsylvania to Universal because my daughter works there and she can get free tickets. So um, they went to Universal and this isn't everything they did, but they rode ET, Men in Black. They went on the Escape from Gringotts.
Hmm.
They took the
Wow.
train over to Islands of Adventure. Then they rode Forbidden Journey when they were there, and then they played Hollywood Golf, and then uh, they went into the escape room, but they didn't do the Jurassic Park. They did what's the other one?
Oh, Back to the Future.
Yeah, yeah, my brain doesn't work. So they did Back to the Future. And Jurassic Park is better because Back to the Future is very difficult. They only had two people, it was only them. And they said in some things they needed three people just to do it. So
Hmm.
they ended up getting, I think, 2 out of 20 of the
Wow.
tasks. And at the other one, we got uh, 12 out of 20 when it was a group of like five of us, or six, or whatever it was.
Man, that thing must be difficult.
Anyway, my wife said that Universal, the major rides were still long, like Hagrid's was probably like an hour and 20 minutes and stuff. But she said she was able to take her friend there with no express and ride a bunch of rides and have a good time. And she was very happy with it. She said she really had a good time there and it was great. And again, we used to do that at Disney. We used to take our friends to Disney, but it's like I don't even know how you do it now. It'd be like, first of all, we need 150 for your ticket. And if you actually want to ride anything, well, you're gonna have to pay. And oops, we didn't schedule this out ahead of time. It's like
Hmm.
it just doesn't feel that good. And honestly, her friend said I don't care. I like Universal better anyway. So she could care less about Disney. So worked out for us. So I just thought that was a nice side note
Yeah, very
that
cool.
that they really enjoyed that time there. So then yesterday, I heard there was a new sign at Epcot, so I rushed out as fast as I could to be
Hmm.
the first to get pictures of it. No, I'm just kidding. I had this planned for a week, but
Hmm.
since the new sign was up, I figured I'd get a picture of it going in.
Didn't you
Um,
get the invite to the media event for the sign?
I swear they must tell those guys all this stuff because they're always there. It's like between WDW, NT, and all the other big guys, they're like competing on who's going to be the first video to put it up, and it's like they can't go to these places every day. Disney must give them the a little thing saying FYI this is going up today. So,
Hmm.
ooh, I just learned that I have a connection at Space 220, but that may be able to help me get reservations there. Although I didn't like it last time, so I'm a little bit concerned. But I heard the food's better than it was, though, so maybe I'll try it
Well, I
again.
know some people have been going to the lounge part of it because
Yeah,
this that's like almost small plates and things
but
like that.
food wise, though, I again and I love paging Mr. Mara, but I'm very disappointed because I literally got an added, like I paid extra for the T-bone or whatever it was. Like there was an even more expensive thing that you had to pay extra for because he recommended it. And I was like, it just wasn't that good. I'm like, oh,
Mm.
he made it look so good. I was like, man, I want that. That looks so great. But I
Mm.
don't know. Maybe they just cooked it better for him because I'm sure he wouldn't make it up. But
I don't know. He's a Pennsylvania boy, so it's like, and you are as well, and as I am as well. And we have some pretty darn good steaks in Pennsylvania. So if he said that, I don't
yeah,
know.
he said it was great. Again, I'm getting off topic, but it
Yeah.
just made me
Mm.
remember my meal at Space 220.
Mm.
Oh, and yeah, don't you
The
just love
signs.
new signs? That's
The
so great.
signs.
There's nothing
Yeah.
I like more than forgetting about discovery and explore and create. I don't care about any of that stuff. But remember this movie that had Crush? He was funny. He's funny. I remember that. You remember that, Mike?
I
I
don't even
remember.
know. I
Hey, look,
only I
a
what
brain damaged chicken. Awesome. That's what I want to do when I go to Epcot. Hey, look, I remember Moana.
I wonder how
Uh,
many people actually even know that character at all.
chicken thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that, that's what
What
I'm
was that
having for
movie
dinner.
again?
But anyway, I honestly don't really care, but it,
I
it,
don't
it
either.
just feels like a solid reminder.
Yeah.
I was telling my wife they really need to just get rid of the name Epcot. It's nothing to do. I mean, just call it, another park or whatever. Cool stuff park. No real theme park, random crap park, whatever you want to call it. But it's not the experimental prototype community of tomorrow. And it
No.
never technically was, but it was it stuck with the theme, like from going to Epcot you could get the feel of what the community of tomorrow might be or could be or should be or anything. Now it's just you like Moana, I like Moana, you like Moana. Hey, look, a chicken. Ooh, it's like, and again, I don't. We can get into this with our other thing, but they're not making these changes for me. I realize that. So while I was there, I got my pass holder magnets.
Oh man. Yeah. Wish
Oops.
that's pass holder magnet. That's one thing that my wife and I are just like
Yeah, I'm having a little issue with this stuff.
with your playback.
Yeah, for some reason, this thing logs me out at the weirdest times. Like, I'm definitely clicking on it quite often, and yet it's just. And as a matter of fact, I didn't even have to log into it today. It literally, just had me in from before, and now all of a sudden it's just,
Giving you security warnings and stuff and
yeah, now it wants me to prove that I'm not
a
a
robot.
robot too. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I thought that pass holder magnet, the Dumbo pass holder magnet, was really cool. Actually, it's so different for one of these pass holder magnets. When did they ever do Dumbo? So I thought that was impressive, and my wife, she loves Dumbo, so
Yeah, I literally can't get in.
it's locking you
It's pretty sure I'm a robot. So.
out.
Yeah, I can't believe the stuff that it does right when I'm in the middle of doing a podcast. But anyway, the pass holder magnet, I thought that was pretty a pretty interesting magnet too. Although, I have a lot of pass holder magnets. I appreciate it because Disney hasn't been doing anything, so at least it's something. But again, I'm not particularly concerned with it. I mean, I don't do anything with these magnets anyway. They just kind of sit. But you
That's a
you you
cool shirt.
I was gonna say, did you see that last time you were
No,
here? It's
no.
the it's the well, I forget what it's called. The Walt's old cartoons. I don't even
Oh,
remember
yeah, okay. I
the
know
ones
what you
where he
mean.
did the trees and all that. I'm so terrible with names, but it comes from that collection. So yeah, I like that a lot. I don't
I
really
do
wear this
too.
kind of shirt, although I could. For this one, I might actually I would actually give that a try. That's my kind of Disney shirt.
Yeah, yeah, I wear
Very.
stuff like that. I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I hate that I can't remember what that stuff's even called, but yeah, there's lot of cool stuff. Fun fact: my wife touched the hanger there, and a piece of jagged metal cut right through her fingertip,
Oh my
and
goodness.
she made sure to mention that to the cast member working nearby. And then she said, "Do you have a band-aid or something?" And they best they could do is a tissue. They don't have anything, so it's like, and yeah, it was bleeding for a while too. Weirdly enough, but anyway, we should have sued, but we didn't.
Yeah, you could have got a free fast pass.
Yeah, actually, they probably would have countersued and had better lawyers, and I'd end up owing them money.
Right.
Yeah, here's a Valentine's Day Donald purse.
Hmm,
Only $250. So get him
interesting.
while you can.
It's a Dooney.
Yeah. Harmonious shirts.
Were
Get
they
them while
giving
you
those away or?
full price yet.
Oh, jeez.
And I thought it was a nice night for a few pictures and stuff. But they had almost no artwork there. And the reason was at first I looked around and I'm like, why would they do that? How cheap? Like there's none here. Before there was artwork up and down both sides and a 3D one. The night before there was a strong rain. So it just got washed out. They can't do this. They can't do awesome artwork every single day of the week. You know what I mean? Like they do a
Yeah,
good job keeping it up. So at first I was thinking, man, they must have cut that back, but it
there's
had
that
rained.
awesome that awesome figment painting I told you about last year.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
you'll
the one
see.
I was telling you about last year, you know?
Yep, you'll see a lot of them. A lot of ones from last year too. This one I really liked it too. The
Yeah, that's
orange
neat.
bird.
Yeah.
It's like in a tiki room or setting, and here's orange blossoms that he's looking at too.
Yeah, there it
Yeah,
is.
there it is. Figment
Yeah.
on top of the
Spaceship
spaceship Earth.
Earth.
That
Yep,
is a nice.
that's the one I saw last year that I really liked. Hmm, cool.
There's people had liked this one too.
Yeah,
It's
that's cool. In the tiki room.
goofy in the tiki room. So I thought that was nice too. I did notice a lot of classic stuff there. It's Beauty and the Beast. That's a cool angle
Yeah.
from Beauty and the Beast. And again, if you notice more classic stuff from me looking at it, I don't. I've never seen a lot of the newer movies, so to me, I just kind of like I don't even know what that. So you're probably not going to see, and I use this one a lot. You won't see a lot of like Encanto in my pictures. I've never seen it. I don't know what it is. I'm not particularly interested in looking at artwork from it, but I won't. If it comes up, it comes up. But I kind of like the regular
Yeah.
stuff more.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that one too. I like the feel of it and the colors. Very nice.
Hmm.
They got some. I feel like these are newer this year. They're helmeted or eyes reflecting, and
Mm-hmm.
if you look close, you can see the reflections in the eyes. This one's my favorite because Return of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
That's Jabba's assistant there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you can see it better. I forget that guy's name. I literally have
Bib.
him right. What is it?
Bib Fortuna.
Of course you know. Well, I have Bib Fortuna up on my shelf back there from either the 70s or 80s, the actual action figure. He still has his robe on and everything.
Yeah.
So,
That
how
was a
much you
cool
give me?
figure. I love that figure. That
How
was a
much
cool
will you
one.
give me?
I'll give you nothing. I have one.
I can't believe it. Oh, I actually tried a couple things too, which I'm absolutely not thorough and I'm not a reliable source for any food. But I did want to mention I really wanted. I don't think I even have it here. I really wanted the maple popcorn from Canada because it
Mm-hmm.
smelled really good, and my wife got some regular popcorn, and I'm like, I want to get that and take it home. And there was no line there at all, so I started to walk towards it, and everybody within view quick went in front, and I was like, all right. Then when it came time for us to be next, they both cast members walked away. They stopped working. One person was going off a shift. I looked over and they were taking the bottom of the uh, popcorn and sprinkle and like just mixing it. And I saw all the kernels, and I'm like, there's nothing worse than getting the bottom of popcorn where every bite you can't even bite it because it's a hard kernel. And then I saw that the popcorn was just starting to sizzle. So they were going to make new popcorn, but I was next. So I could either tell them I'm going to wait. I told my wife, let's just go. Never mind. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want popcorn anymore. I'm like, can't think of a worse. There's three Disney employees not taking people's pictures under the thing for some reason, talking to each other. I thought that was funny. This one's talking to that one and talking to that one's holding the thing. Meanwhile, there's a big line of people that want their picture taken, but I don't know what's going on there. I'm like, huh?
Hmm.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Yeah, I don't
Interesting.
know. Anyway, I thought that was funny though. So my patience ran out for maple popcorn, and I wasn't gonna. I didn't want a box of kernels, and so I walked away. And then yeah, I noticed cast members just standing around talking. I don't know. Maybe the camera's down. I don't know. Just something weird. Um, Took a couple pictures of France. It always looks nice that time of day. It's a nice look to it. Um, let's see. This will give you an idea of some of the crowds there. It wasn't too terrible. Nowhere near as bad as when I was there on Saturday.
Wow,
See,
my wife would love that one.
I love the villains ones, and just so you know, it is $399. Why does that
Oh.
seem so cheap for a Disney artwork? That doesn't seem right, but it's what it says.
Hmm.
Yeah, that seems really cheap. A lot of these things are like in the thousands, but yeah, I like
Yeah,
that too. That's a good one.
that is true. Like people should be aware that you're gonna pay for Disney artwork. It is gonna be up in the $500 to $1,000 typically.
Yeah, because I had a print framed, and even the framing costs like $400 or something. It's
Right.
like, so if this is $399 and includes this frame,
Hmm.
that's actually a pretty darn good deal. So I don't know, that's
Yeah,
weird.
especially with the framing already done. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's sometimes they have different sizes of them, but I thought that was cool though.
Hmm.
Very cool. I'm a fan of the villain stuff, so
Yeah.
that's a pass holder shirt, pass
Huh.
holder pin. I never get any pass holder items though. I mean, telling me you're doing me a favor by selling me more stuff. I'm like,
I
eh.
do get the mugs sometimes. I really like the mugs, and the pass holder mug for this event is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I didn't really notice it. This one, I don't want to be rude to anybody who likes this kind of thing, but when I was a kid, this looks like what they sold at gas stations. They had like it was like velvet paintings of like tigers that looked just like that. If you felt them, they'd be all like velvety, but they'd be colorful just like that. So
But it
because
kind
of
of
my
reminds me of what you would find in, you know what a head shop is?
yeah,
Where you buy, your pipes and stuff to smoke your marijuana, and it's in the backlit room in the back, and it glows in the dark, that type of thing.
well, because of my age, like I said, I looked and I'm like, my brain immediately took me back to the gas station paintings that they put up out right next to the gas station. So again, not to be rude, they're very well done. They're nice, but
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
A lot of color.
Well, and then here's my first review of the night. I went to, and it doesn't look that appealing, but this is the chicken kebab from the Tangerine Cafe in
Mm.
at the Morocco Pavilion. And let me just tell you, I think it was like 575, something like that. It's a little overpriced. That chicken was so good though. Man, I wish I had it right now. It was real good, and this stuff was good too. But it's whatever it is, it's good, but not the greatest thing ever. It isn't like I love that, but man, that chicken was perfect. Like I said, I would eat that right now. So if you're walking around the food and wine or the festival of the arts and all the booths are crowded, but you're really hungry, the Tangerine Cafe, you go right in the side, and the way they have it set up, they do change it around for festivals and stuff. It's easy to get in, and man, it was really good. So, and I loved the Tangerine Cafe when it was owned by Morocco and run and stuff. They've done a pretty good job maintaining it. They got rid of all the Moroccans now, but it's still
Yeah, I mean that to be fair, that was not Disney's decision. That was
yeah.
Morocco that pulled out themselves. So,
Yeah, well, when it was run by Morocco, and that was the Tangerine Cafe, that's one of my favorite places to eat in
hmm
Epcot. I just really loved it. The food was very good, and I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know. He
I don't
looks
like
kind
the
of
look of him.
sketchy. Looks
Yeah, I don't like the
sketchy.
look of him. We better continue. I don't want to get banned from YouTube for
Yeah,
talking about
talking
bad
about
people.
that guy.
So there's a Mickey painting. Let's see. Some more villains. This
Yeah.
had the lighting's a little weird on these because it was nighttime, so they had a light bulb over them to make them glow. So I thought that was a unique flounder and
Yeah, that's
aerial
cute.
picture. I never
Oh.
saw that before. Very weird. And let's see. I was just talking to I don't know if you ever heard of him, but Disney Nuts on Instagram. He's a photographer guy that's been going there for years. He was
hmm
just telling me he bought this one.
Oh, that's Chernobog, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
I joked with my wife. I said the real CEO of Disney, not Chernabog. This guy
Yeah,
above him.
yeah, that's right.
That's Chernabog's boss up there. That's
Yeah,
the real CEO.
yeah. Well, he is smiling, so it could be.
I'm your friend.
That's true.
Give me your money. I'm on your side. Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's good.
All right, and they have Ursula, who I really like. She's one of my favorite villains. So.
Yeah.
And like I always say, she got a bad rap. You sign a contract just because you don't like the contract doesn't mean you can murder people and go back on it.
Right.
Hey, how much did you charge me for my mortgage? Me and my boyfriend will murder you and just take the house. I saw the Little Mermaid.
Uh-huh.
I don't like the contract. It's not fair. So anyway, let's see. Disney CEO, Festival of the Arts. Oh yeah, if you like to be cold on cold nights, there's never a better time to get the kakigori, the big pile of ice from Japan.
I see the line, just waiting.
Yep, no line. Let's see, we got a few
Ah,
more.
Mr. Toad. Love that.
Yeah, yeah, there's his deed. They always have
Yeah,
him
I
with
was
that.
gonna say, look, and the deed is like what is it, leaking fire or something? Is that what
It's
that
leaking.
is?
Yeah, it's leaking blood. He
Uh-huh.
made a deal with the devil. That's
He
his
did.
soul
Yeah,
going
he
out the
did.
bottom.
Okay.
There's another Ursula. Space Mountain. I do love the retro
I
Space
do
Mountain.
too. I
Just
like that.
I like all these though. Yeah, I know Three Caballeros isn't technically retro, but these are all nice.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, and this shop had a lot of artwork too that I don't even know what the stuff is. Newer cartoons that I kind of walked right past. So again, I just don't care about it enough. That I like too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's the one of the Disney board members in the back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. Now I'm on a roll with it.
Uh,
I like this one too. It's Mickey Mouse Halloween.
yeah.
So I always like their Halloween stuff, so that's kind of a cool picture too.
It's cool.
And we got some Ratatouille stuff, Little Mermaid, just some general artwork. I kind of like this. It's like
I
wood.
do. Yeah, I like both of them actually.
Yeah, that's nice
Happy
too.
Place. I love that.
Yeah, nice welcome. Nice Epcot. Let's say $3.95 for the welcome
Hmm.
and $1.95 for the Epcot, which is like
And yeah, what we're looking at is it's like a rustic, almost like a barnwood for the
yeah.
Epcot with some of the countries kind of painted on it with a really cool looking Epcot sign.
And this is more of a Disneyland one, but
It is
still
more of a Disneyland, and that is a the castle in Disneyland, but it's really cool looking, very retro feel. And
and
there's
this is
Figment.
a
I saw that last year, and that's Figment with Dreamfinder behind him, and I really like that.
yeah, this one seems to be a recurring one that keeps
Yeah,
coming up. Matter of fact, I think this is all the Gary McAuliffe stuff, and I
yeah.
really do. I have a huge painting of his in my bedroom right now of the World Showcase.
Hmm.
I always remember I talked to him like a year ago, and he was there signing paintings, and I asked him if he was going to do an updated Showcase to include the barges, and he just looked at me and went, "Hmm." This is when they were going to stay. He basically was like, "Nah."
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
wise decision.
So yeah, this is one I always wanted, but I never bought it yet. It's got Disney Spring, Cirque du Soleil, Epcot, the mouse ears that used to be at MGM Studios,
You
Tree of Life, and the castle. And if you look close, there's a lot of
a
stuff
lot of
inside
Mickey's.
this tree too.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
that I can find pretty easy. The Little Mermaid is over here.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I think that's a hidden Mickey there.
There's Mr. Toad right there next to Ariel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, see that in the shadow?
here's some queen or Cinderella. Mary Poppins is over here, right here.
Yeah,
Like if you look close, there's a lot of. I forget how many they said. Another hidden Mickey here.
yeah, bunch of
Basically,
Mickeys.
they said here's
There's
Stitch right here.
Bambi. I see Bambi.
Other hidden Mickey side profile. Yeah, Bambi here. So anyway, yeah, look, Pluto. So imagine having this painting on your wall, like a big painting of it. It would be pretty fun. And this reminds me of when I lived in Kissimmee. I would drive up the road to go to Disney. Like I'd be driving up the street, and technically, if you looked over, all this stuff was behind the trees, and there was a lot of flat land like that. So this reminds me of where I lived in Kissimmee a lot.
Mm.
Because I was so close that like I could see Everest from right down the street. I could see the fireworks going off from my neighborhood, all that. So that's what this always reminded me of, my my Kissimmee house. So
It's
I still
very
need to
cool.
buy it.
So it's like a tree with the parks in the background and a lot of hidden pictures within buried within the
Even
trees and
this, look,
everything.
here's Hidden
Yeah, there's a
Mickey,
big
a
hidden Mickey.
big
That was
Hidden
the
Mickey,
first one I
little
saw.
Hidden Mickeys, and other Hidden Mickeys, and no matter how much you look, you just keep finding more stuff. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff buried in there. I'm not going to keep looking. We could do that all day, but amazing all the things you can spot in there. So anyway, Gary McCullough is one of my favorite artists there. I have already bought his stuff. I really want to buy this one too, and a lot of his other ones are great too. I don't know why. I just like the look of his stuff. So. And from
Very
there we
cool.
went to the inspiration station, and I forget this guy's name, but on my Instagram I gave him credit when I posted it because of course somebody had to immediately say great artwork by such and such, and I'm like, yeah, I put it right in. I think his name is Eric something or other, but he did a new artwork for each of the parks. So I definitely like the style of it. Very cool style. If you look close, you can see Astro Orbiter, Orange Bird, Dumbo, the Tiki Room Bird, Tinkerbell flying, and there's the silhouettes of the people at the bottom. Like
Very
it's
cool.
kind of
Yeah.
minimalist but cool though. And then Figment appears randomly on the wall inside here.
I love that. That's great.
And this is the place too that where they have the this is the place where they have the Figment popcorn buckets.
Oh, okay.
So here's some Buzz Lightyear artwork. Some
There's one of the cups, and that is similar to the design of the mug for
I'm
this
pretty
year.
sure my wife said this was a $50 cup,
Oh my
but
goodness.
I don't know. My cabinet is overflowing with cups right now, so I'm
Wow.
not really interested. So, and yeah, I some of this stuff is a little bit weird, like that Pinocchio and stuff.
Hmm.
See, I didn't see this movie,
That's Soul. Yeah, that's from. I
or
did see
yes,
that. Yeah.
I haven't seen that, and I don't. I is that is that I don't know what that is. This is what I said before about stuff that I don't know. Like I don't know what this is here.
Oh yeah, that's the one where the girl turns into the red panda. I forget
Oh,
the
all
name
right.
of that
See,
movie, but yeah.
yeah, see, that's my problem. I didn't see a lot of these movies,
Yeah.
so it's kind of, and we'll get into that in a little bit because that's part of my weird stuff at Magic Kingdom, like what's left. But I wasn't going to get anything else, and this is the place where they have the rainbow cake,
Mhm.
and I didn't get that because there's an account on Instagram which I don't follow, but of course it popped up one day and I clicked on it. It's some guy, and I'm sure he has a huge following. He says he said something like, "What gave me diarrhea at the
Oh
art?"
yeah, that I've told you about that guy before.
and, and he talked about the
Yeah.
rainbow cake and stuff, and I'm like, it made me want to try it even less. I'm like, oh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
So anyway, they said it said fruit pizza, and I remembered I heard about that, and I was like, I'm gonna try that. It was 375, which in Disney pricing is a great bargain. You know, you're not going to get much for that. It's a watermelon piece
Hmm.
with, I think this is coconut shavings, some sliced berries, some blueberries. I don't know what the greenery is, but
Looks like mint, maybe.
it could be. But anyway, I ate the whole thing and I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. The stuff on top is kind of like what the fruit mix for yogurt, you know, like what they would have in the bottom of a yogurt container or something.
Hmm.
Again, I ate it. I didn't feel sick. It's just fruit, so I thought it was really good. So I feel like I made some good choices. I had chicken with whatever's with it, and then some uh, a fruit thing. So
Fruit pizza. Yeah.
fruit pizza, yeah. So let's see.
Well,
We went and looked at some more stuff. This one isn't finished yet, and I know because I am familiar with this clay. This is
huh.
clay here, and then when I got closer, I could see the sketches on the wall and stuff. So this is going to be a 3D art piece when it's finished. But it caught my eye even when it wasn't finished. So
Yeah.
that
Looks
was pretty
very
cool.
cool.
And then they have this. This is getting into some expensive stuff. A lot of this is from the gallery that's down by the boardwalk. The same,
Oh, okay. Yep.
and the people there have galleries all over the place. I think my wife liked this one. I think it was $7,000. So
Wow.
original art piece. So yeah, she's got expensive taste. She also likes
I love that.
the $30,000 table. Yeah, I was thinking you would like that. I like that too.
Yeah.
Nice classic Star Wars. You know,
Hmm.
like that's the exact kind of painting that I would like very classic. You know, like I don't need Baby Yoda in any of my pictures. He's cute.
Hmm.
I just don't really need it. I like that one too.
I do too. That's from Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, Disney board meeting,
Yeah,
union negotiations. I like this one too. I thought that was a really
that's
computer
great.
painting one.
Love it. Man.
Yeah, so and I like some of these too. You have like the haunted mansion,
Yeah, there's
like
the Razor Crest down below the Haunted Mansion. Yeah, there's
what's
a
a
Spider
razor?
Man there too. That's from The Mandalorian. Mhm. But,
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Mandalorian. I remember that. I don't remember the name of the ship, but
yeah, yeah.
right. There's another focus on the haunted mansion one. I thought that was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
here is the $30,000 table for
Yow.
made out of
Wow.
bronze. My
Yeah.
wife was having an in-depth discussion with these people, so she wasn't joking about it. She's like, and then I told her, no, we could trade in your car and get a new electric four-door Jeep with the amount of money this costs. And she's like, yeah, I would take that. But technically, I don't want to do it either. But I'm just trying to explain that, it's a lot of money, 20 or $30,000 for a table. I don't. But anyway, I haven't been here in a while to see these lights at night like that. So I'm usually not at that part. So I thought that was pretty cool. We watched a little bit of Beacons of Magic, and that is about it for the night. And before we go on to this topic, and again, this it's not going to be a very long topic,
Yeah.
but The reason I wanted to talk about it was Splash Mountain is closed now,
Hmm.
and as a 48-year-old man with no young children with him, the Magic Kingdom offers me certain things that I enjoy, that I like, and you know, princess stuff is usually not it. Like I don't really, you know, I imagine seeing me standing by myself waiting in line like to meet Cinderella and stuff. She'd probably be calling security over it, being like, "We got another weirdo, you know. Make sure you keep an eye on him." And be like, anyway, I just don't do that. And then the other thing I wanted to state was, and again, I guess this is just a natural progression. Like I like to think, oh, they made a mistake by closing Splash Mountain, and maybe they did, but maybe these younger people would rather have all this stuff. I don't know, but for me, princess stuff means almost nothing. It's more of a skip kind of thing or ride occasionally, and even Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, I just don't really care about it that much. It doesn't fit the weird Disney's part stuff. And what I loved about Disney, I'm not a Disney fan, meaning I'm not, I don't collect their movies. I don't watch everything they put out. And always say I was a Looney Tunes kid, and my parents never bought the Disney Channel, so I just didn't see it growing up. And I never went to Disney World as a kid, so I wasn't brought up like that. But what I liked was the weird stuff, and I figured we could have a little discussion just talking about. I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Like, what is left at the Magic Kingdom that would pull somebody in who doesn't like Disney movies but can really appreciate that weird Disney vibe, you know? And again, the Splash Mountain is a big one for me, and there's others too. But
Hmm.
for me, that weird Disney vibe would stick in my head. And I was just thinking it'd be a fun discussion to say what is left like that. Because again, the new version of me that comes along in a few years from now, the reluctant husband, the boyfriend, whatever, when they bring somebody like me to the parks, what really got me was, and overall Epcot was like a saving grace. I was like, wow, that was so great. I loved it. The great movie ride, that really was so cool. The Magic Kingdom didn't do a lot for me in my first visit when I came here without kids. I was just kind of like, yeah, but I didn't do that much either. So, anyway, I was going to say I'm going in the park and I'm going to the left. And I guess one of the first rides I would think maybe is Enchanted Tiki Room. Still has that weird old feel to it, right?
Well, let me back you up a little bit because Swiss Family Treehouse, even though it's not a ride, is an attraction. And it is one of the early attractions. So it has kind of that weird feel, right? You don't expect to see that in a modern park, something like that. And honestly, most people have no idea about Swiss Family Robinson at this point in the modern vernacular. So
Yeah,
as
true.
you're walking up through there and you see this big treehouse towering over, most people it's just a walk by, right? They just walk right by it. But if you're into weird Disney stuff and totally divorced from the princess stuff and the common IP Disney IP that they push nowadays, Swiss Family Treehouse is a really good thing because it's a conversation piece basically that you're walking up through, right? So when you talk about weird, uh that's pretty weird, I mean it's kind of out there, in pretty close to the magic carpets, and I guess what you could consider a mini Aladdin land almost, and right there it is, Swiss Family Treehouse. See, I already got you. You didn't expect
Yeah,
that one, did you?
I didn't even think about that one. You're right.
Yeah, and I would even in this particular part of the park is really cool because this has a lot of weirdness that you really wouldn't expect. Yes, the tiki room for sure, you know. The tiki room is definitely part of that weird Disney legacy, but I would even go so far as to say, you know, there are some remnants, some of the original Jungle Cruise. It's not it's kind of a sore subject in a way because they've changed it so many times, but the Jungle Cruise is kind of weird, right? Um
Yeah, I was gonna say Jungle Cruise. I give that a half an attraction now
yeah.
because they tried to get rid of a lot of the,
Yeah, they
not a
turned it into a
lot, but they got
comedy
rid of
show.
some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, so this is not original, but in that general area, think about this as it's not an attraction, but Skipper Canteen has some really cool, weird things within it, like a room with the big butterflies and,
It's
you know,
true. It does have that feel to it.
yeah, like that weird kind of strange Walt Disney World or Disney vibe that you don't necessarily expect. And to be fair, when you made that left turn right there to go into this land, this is probably the weirdest Disneyland I think left in the park, or at least one of them anyhow. So I think there's a lot of attractions there short of the Magic Carpets, which is just an off-the-shelf ride, and there's a little bit of Aladdin Prince and Princess stuff down in there. But yeah, I mean that's what I would say, John. What do you think of that? Because definitely the Tiki Birds, the Tiki Room really has that old school weird feel to it, you know. And that
Yeah,
was where you went to right away, and I would agree with that.
yeah, I do too. And I, like I said, I was gonna say the Jungle Cruise still has it in, like when they go to the indoor portion, it's still
Yeah,
just weird. Like it's just
yeah.
an odd look to it, and yeah, I agree. You're right. That whole side is pretty much has it because Pirates still has it too. So
Right. You go down to Pirates, that's right, and that's kind of unexpected. It's more conventional now because it's sort of IP at this they've turned it into an IP ride, but I mean, definitely before you get there, there's a lot of unexpected stuff. Um,
yeah, yeah, they turned it into an IP ride, but that doesn't mean, it still has that same. The queue is still the same. The smells, the a lot of the the bulk of the ride is still the same. Like there's still enough of it there.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're right. See, that's why I'm glad we have these conversations occasionally because in my head I'm thinking they get rid of everything weird, but we just
But
named a crap load of stuff.
yeah,
For the
and
planet.
so that's what I think. I think when I think in modern day terms, as far as weird Disney, not only do I think of the vintage kind of 1950s era Disney, which was kind of weird, you know, in our terms, but I also think of that Adventurers Club concept. You know what I mean? And you see a lot of that Adventurers Club type thing right in this land. There's more Adventures Club to come in this discussion, so I don't know where you want to go next, but
Well, I was gonna say we can just go
you want to go
kind of
on to
circle.
Frontierland because there's not much there now.
Yeah, and honestly, I don't consider Big Thunder Mountain. It's a good ride. I like it. I've never felt that weird Disney-ness about it
Well,
though, personally.
let me add to that though, because there is a story to be told at Big Thunder, and if you look at Big Thunder, who is the Imagineer that has his painting right there? It's what's the guy's name that did Splash Mountain? You know, that Imagineer has a painting right in
I
the
saw
ride
that.
queue. Yeah, so that is that's an Adventurers Club painting, and so like a lot of the ride queue and stuff tells a story, which is a little weird. You know, it has a little weirdness. So that's where I was going with the Adventures Club. There's not a lot of Adventures Club left, in the Magic Kingdom.
Well, for me, as a regular kind of guest, the Big Thunder wouldn't stick in my head as
Right. It
something,
it
like
wouldn't.
if I never went to Disney before, I wouldn't be like, wow, I remember that one ride. It was so great. It is
Mhm.
good though, but it's not the same as the others. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give that a half a weird, I guess, too. Just a touch of weird to it, but
Hmm.
not.
Well, keep in mind, as far as weird goes, you also have Tom Sawyer's Island right there, and that, in our modern sense, that's pretty weird, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. That's Magic Kingdom's just filled with weird.
That's, you can find it if you're looking for it. You can
Everything. My
find it,
goodness.
right?
Yeah, I guess you can. My goodness.
But from there, we would stay in the Frontierland as we make our way forward, and the one of the weirdest things in all of Magic Kingdom, I think, is the Country Bears Jamboree. Wouldn't you
Yeah,
say?
you're right. And that's the original Disney weird and the talking animals on the wall. And that is a real good old fashioned weird Disney thing. So,
Yeah, totally, totally agree.
and I'm sure I have lots of videos of that too, but I don't know. I'm not prepared for that. So it
Amazon would
probably,
kick you right out, and they'd
it
say
would
you're
have
a
taken me
bot.
hours to figure out where the heck that stuff even is because I
Yeah.
don't go there that often. So
Um, how about, of course, the Haunted Mansion, which is definitely weird.
yeah, that's maintained the same old weird Disney level. Um, for me, I I I think yeah, that's you can't deny that. So
Yep. And it has actually, if you think about it, it has a couple ride systems in there as well, and something that you don't typically see. Like you walk into the stretching room, there's a ride system. Then you walk into the standard ride, and there's the other ride system. So the queue itself is dressed up the way it is. There's a lot of weirdness going on in the queue, from Madame Leota's tombstone to, at the end of the ride, the graveyard, with a lot of Easter eggs hidden in there. Even as you exit the ride, there's the ghost carriage, So there's a lot of weird in that ride. I feel. Where do we go next, John? What do you think is weird after that?
well, I guess Peter Pan would be the next stop, which that's pretty weird too.
It is.
And when I say weird, I'm just thinking when you take a first time person there, what's going to stick in their head later? Like, what are they going to remember? Like, man, I remember being on there. That was weird. So, yeah, Peter Pan would probably um, meet that description as well. Just that weird drum beat going through it and stuff. So,
Mhm. I would even say across the way from there, it's a small world. I mean, think about that. How weird is that? A bunch of dolls singing about togetherness in the world, and like some people, that's really weird. Like some people are freaked out by that stuff, but that's a strange concept. Like, where would they have come up with that at? You know what I mean? Like,
mm.
that's memorable. Let's just say that. So, that there's one. What else do you think, John?
um, I don't know. I don't really feel like. As much as I like PhilharMagic, it's not really that weird old feel to it. It is unique and it's Disney, and I really enjoy it. But that doesn't really Winnie the Pooh doesn't really
No.
feel too weird to me either. I like it, but it doesn't have that memorable. And
Yeah, I think then also the teacups, which is kind of conventional. It's just a conventional off the shelf teacup ride, although it has, the interesting kind of weird Alice in Wonderland vibes to it and stuff. But, you know, um, there's really a lot that's left is a lot of conventional stuff until you get to Space Mountain. But I think personally, but back up a minute. At the beginning of Fantasyland, we did miss something on the ground. There are horse hooves. Did you ever notice that? And they are, I don't know, they're like IP driven horse hooves in the ground. Did you ever see that, John? Did you take notice to that before?
No, I don't think I did.
Look down sometime when you're over by Peter Pan and all over Fantasyland, and there's actually horseshoe imprints all over the place.
But that's filled with people. I can't even see
I
anything.
know. If
So
you take a
no,
chance,
that doesn't count because I can't see it,
you
and
can't see it
I
because of
wouldn't
all the
see it
people.
on a vacation because I wouldn't be. I would be
Some
too
people,
busy with strollers hitting me in the ankles and people
I,
in front of me and people
yeah.
stopping and I can't walk and so no,
But if you had a stroller, right,
no.
you'd be looking down at that stroller and happen to notice horse hooves. But in any case, I don't know if there's much left in that general
Yeah.
area. Is there?
Obviously
That
new Fantasyland now because
yeah,
it's newer. And again, I love the Ariel whatever, Little Mermaid ride, but
yeah,
it's not it would never stick in my head as I you know like a core memory about the
right.
weird Disney park stuff. So, and again, for me at least, nothing in the circus land would
No,
do that either.
no, I agree with you there. Yeah.
And even the train, I like the train, but I've ridden trains at other parks too, and it's not.
Yes.
It's. I love it. It's great, but it doesn't have that weird Disney thing that you don't do anywhere else. So,
Yeah.
and again, that could just be me, but
No, not at all. I think you're right.
and
I really don't think you like even like the cars, at at the speedway. You get cars in just about any major theme park, right? So
yeah, that's what I was gonna, and that's what I remembered. Like at Dorney Park in Pennsylvania, they had trains, they had cars, and
yeah,
they're all right, and nothing that special about it. So I can say that Tomorrowland Transit Authority still has that weird
it
because
does.
that's Walt's thing. That's right from Walt, and it is just weird and cool, and
Hmm.
so that
Same
one
with
counts.
same with Carousel Progress, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that's got that weird kind of feel, the retro, the Disney. You won't see that at another park. Um, Same with Space Mountain though as well. Space Mountain it is a coaster. It is a conventional kind of coaster, but it's in the dark and it's got that retro futuristic feel, right?
Yeah, I always say even if you don't like roller coasters, Space Mountain is worth it just because it's so cool. Like just the queue alone has just the Star Tunnel music and the weird star windows, and it's an experience just to go on. Although it was honestly a cooler experience when the walkway moved at the end, but
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that.
it seemed a little more futuristic at that point where you would
Hmm.
ride by and see the cool little scenes. So
Yeah, particularly a retro futuristic feel, I think. But I don't know. Disney has a problem with those moving belts. I don't know what the deal is, but they got issues with that. So uh, I don't know, John. That's pretty much all I could think of in general as far as like kind of weird stuff there at Magic Kingdom. I mean, of course, you have all the stuff around the castle. The murals in the castle, and
yeah, but I was mainly talking about rides,
yeah,
like
and I get
rides and
that.
experiences at least. So
Yeah, and I can't really think of much more than that. What about you?
No, no, that's
Yeah, I think we pretty much took a whirlwind coverage of all the weird Magic Kingdom stuff. So, all right, so that should do it for that discussion, right, John? So, what is that carousel progress? Look at that. Man, that looks great.
yeah. I was gonna say the point of my whole discussion was um, I feel like Disney's been replacing that weird classic stuff a little bit at a time and stuff. But my our discussion makes me feel a little better because there's obviously lots of stuff left. So that makes me feel better, because it made me think it because the Splash Mountain was just one of the latest
Yeah,
of the to me what was such a weird ride that I completely so weird to me and so foreign and just something that I couldn't even imagine. And then to ride it, I'm like, wow, that just really gets you. And to get rid of that kind of thing and replace it with Princess and the Frog, which I can imagine and makes a lot of sense. It's like
yeah,
it's not gonna it's not gonna hit my brain like, wow, how can I what is this? I'm gonna be like, yeah, this is from the movie. Here's the characters. It's good.
hmm,
But so anyway, I like that stuff. And it does make me feel better to be reminded that a lot of stuff is there. Like you said, the Country Bears, Six Flags isn't going to make the Country Bears anytime soon. So
no, they're not
it's
gonna make the
still some
Tiki
weird
Room either.
stuff. Yeah, there's still
They're
some.
not gonna make the Tiki Room. They're not gonna make the Swiss Family Tea Tree House, and they're not gonna give you a Skipper Canteen type
Yeah,
place.
so I need to just enjoy what I got there yet while I can. So
And I don't see them, eliminating any of that stuff anytime soon. I mean, what are
I
they
didn't
gonna
see
put
him
on
eliminating a
spikes?
lot of stuff. So I don't.
Oh,
I,
that's
I would
true.
never say that. Now
That's
that they did
true.
Splash, they did the great movie ride in Splash Mountain. If they would do those two, I think they would do pretty much anything. Which, to me, there is no ride that's safe. the
That's
the
true.
uh,
Every
the
attraction is
management
fair
there
game.
would. I don't think they don't care about anything like that. So.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, I'm glad we had the discussion because I do feel better about it, and makes me feel like going to Magic Kingdom and going to the Country Bears. I keep forgetting it's there.
That's
So
cool. I love to hear that because every time we talk about Magic Kingdom, we lose sight on some of these other things, and it.
yeah, I've been feeling pretty negative about it because the crowds are so big. It's
Yes.
hard to
Yeah.
do anything, and now they're getting rid. They got rid of my favorite ride, and I'm like, I've had an overall negative feel when I
Hmm.
talk about it for a while. So
So let me tell you, the last time I went to Magic Kingdom, or the last time I was down there, for around the marathon time, the first day at Magic Kingdom, that day that I think it was, I don't know if it was the day that we were with you at first at Epcot, but our initial trip to Magic Kingdom, we couldn't really do anything. It was so crowded. It just, you couldn't do anything. So we did exactly what you talked about. We went to the Country Bears, we went to the Tiki Room, we went to the Carousel Progress, and we rode the People Mover. So those are the things that we did because most people are trying to do these other rides that people talk about and think about and have long lines, and we did the other stuff and we had a great time. So just a heads up next time you run into that.
yeah, I know. I do enjoy that, but I just I can't. That can't be all I do there, though. So that's what
I
gets me. So
I
I was just
understand.
telling my wife she's gonna get a standard day off because right now her schedule's been everywhere for years, and I'm like, tell your boss you need a certain day of the week off so we can make plans. So she's going to start getting Tuesdays off. And
Hmm.
so I'm going to start taking a half day once or twice a month on a Tuesday, buying Genie Plus and stacking it. So otherwise, like, I don't know if I ever want to go back to Hollywood Studios. I'd probably only go once a year if I can only ride Muppets and Star Tours. I like them, but if that's all I do there, I don't need to go that often. So I'm gonna have to buy some lightning lanes and get on like Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, maybe even Millennium Falcon. I don't love it, but once a year or so, I don't mind riding it.
Yeah.
It's something. So I'm gonna try that plan out because I can't afford to pay for Genie Plus multiple times a week when I'm only going for a couple hours. That's just like
Right.
throwing money in the garbage. So, but
Totally
anyway, I'm
agree.
gonna try to start doing that. I'm gonna try to start adjusting how I do Disney. But if I do that, I'm gonna go less. But when I do go, I'm gonna do more. So I don't know.
There you
That
go.
could be the new strategy. And I know that's what I wanted to do. It's just hard to get out of that habit.
Try and sometime if you get a chance, just give it a shot. Try and book a one of the if you can stay up that late, try and book a Phantasmic dinner package and sit
Yeah.
in that middle section. Um I think you might be impressed a little bit with Phantasmic, now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. My wife wants to do it. Our old neighbors were just telling us how much they enjoyed it and stuff, and you've been
Yeah.
saying how it's better, and so
Yeah.
I definitely want to do that. I
Yep.
just haven't done it yet.
I like it.
But my wife is interested in that though too, doing the Phantasmic dinner package. So
Yeah. Give it a shot. All right, John. How did your weekend depart? Or I'm sorry, we did that at the beginning of the show. Excuse me. How did your social media go for the week?
sorry, my dog. Literally nothing is going on, but she decided at a certain point she's just gonna stand by me and
She
yell at
knows
me or
Mama's
whatever.
coming home soon. That's probably what it is.
Yeah, my social media is doing pretty good. I'm up to 113,000 followers for Disney. I'm up to 115,000 followers for Universal. Um, Universal has been my reach has been going down. Remember before I would get millions of views all the time. I was at 6 million views in 30 days. I'm at 3.9, I think. It just goes down like 100,000 every day or two, and consistently goes down. So I'm getting put back in my place by Instagram, but I got 115,000 followers, so I had a good run for that one. So I try not to let it bother me. It might stink, but I'm at 115,000 followers. So
Yeah.
as long as that keeps going up, that's good. And my Disney has actually been going up. I think I was down to 1.8 million at my lowest in 30 days, and then it started going back up, and I'm up to 2 million in 30 days now. So one's going down, one's going up a little. Um, not a lot you can do. I feel like my likes are getting pretty solid though too. Like I did Rainforest Cafe today, 2,700 likes. That's a lot for such a
Yeah.
thing. And even like this picture got 1,300, so it's not bad. Like there's an awful lot of reels I have with thousands of likes. There's 4,800, 1,300, 4,800. It's pretty good. So I won't complain too much. I can say though too, I know I had said a few times now how much I don't like TikTok and everything, but I'm up to 78,900 followers, and um, the one the one TikTok that I had, it's up to 1 million views. My walk through the empty cube Splash Mountain,
Mhm.
and it died at 170,000 on Instagram. And I wanted to tell you too, I noticed an awful lot of people's uh, Instagram of Splash Mountain got hundreds of thousands of views. None of mine did, but the people's who did are the ones who said, "And welcome Tiana, welcome to Bayou." It's like they did really good. And then I would click on these people. I'd watch the reel, and I'm like, the reel wasn't that good. And then I clicked on it. They have like 2,000 followers, and I'm like, it's weird. Like these are really getting the algorithm seems to really love if you compliment Tiana in your your description. I'm like, but again, I post them and I get like 50,000 views and it stops dead. And even like a year ago, I would get 300,000 views on a Splash Mountain easy. This is like 2 years ago. And yeah, for me, it just doesn't work anymore. And again, pretty sure my followers like Splash Mountain, but even they're not really seeing all of it. So just a
Hmm.
weird thing. Again, I completely trust social media.
Of
They're
course.
even more trustworthy than the government and Disney and big
Yeah, I was gonna
corporations.
say it's like,
They might be the most trustworthy. So I know it's all just normal. It's probably my video quality or something. Sure, it's
absolutely.
me.
There's no
But
bots.
and I mentioned last week about that person who put a sticker on my stuff and gets 4 times the views when they only have 2,000 followers. It's but again, I really don't like social media, but I don't give up easy. So I just kind of squint my eyes and grit my teeth and say, all right, I'm just going to keep going and we'll see what happens. And that got me this far. So
Onward
this
and
isn't
upward.
talent. This is sheer stubbornness. Instagram keeps saying, look, you can't win. You can't win. And I
Uh,
keep pushing back saying, how about I keep going regardless? I don't care. I won't stop. So
that's great.
So anyway, overall, I think I'm up to like 400 and some dollar bonus on my Disney account, which is that's high for that one.
Yeah.
And but my Universal's down from what it was. I think last month I was up to like $600, and now it's like 300 or something. And I am almost done.
Hmm.
So I got my ups and downs, but
Yeah. All right, John. So let's get you back on and up. Where can they find you online?
you can find me at C.WDW on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and CWDW on YouTube and C.UO on Instagram and Facebook. See, that's way too many accounts, different things floating around. If I can consolidate them all, I'd have 1 million followers.
You would.
Huh?
All right. And you can find me at the Giant Rat, THEE Giant Rat, on YouTube, on Instagram, and on TikTok. And that should do it for this week. We will see you on the next one.